It's right outside the door. Okay, wait. Ugh. It's hard to breathe in that thing. Look, you sure this is gonna be better than CGI? Because, I mean, it's kind of hard to see in this thing. Hey, unlike CGI, you're actually here. I can actually see you and touch you. Therefore, you are 10 times scarier than any CGI creation ever. Scarier than Gollum? Yes, even scarier than that. Alright, but, I need a break. Okay, take 5 then. Thank you. Things you gotta do to make a decent movie these days. Oh, hi. Harbinger Down. John Carpenter's The Thing was released in 1982, and it stands to this day as one of the greatest horror films of all time. Based upon the book Who Goes There by John W. Campbell, it's a story about a group of Arctic explorers who discover the remains of an alien species that can assimilate its victims, meaning whoever it kills, it imitates them perfectly. So the movie is half psychological thriller in trying to find out who's human and who's the thing, and also part monster effects extravaganza. It stands to this day as the high watermark of practical effects in movies, and it is still one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. So naturally, with Hollywood going through its story crisis, they decided that they wanted to do a remake of it. However, at first, Universal Studios wanted to make sure they did it right. So they decided to go for practical effects like they did before, despite us living in an age of CGI overkill. So Universal Studios hired Amalgamated Dynamics, who had done the special effects for the Academy Award-nominated Hollow Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and more recently, X-Men First Class, also a great film overall, to do the practical effects. They poured their heart and soul into all the effects of this movie, making the monsters look right, making them move right, making them appear right, and originally they only planned to use CG for minor details, like adding a few more tentacles or hiding some of the strings they were using, and so on. But then at some point, someone at Universal decided that apparently we didn't want practical effects anymore and wanted more and more CG. So what was the solution they came up with? They took all the footage of the film that had all the practical effects in it and they CG'd over the practical effects in an effort to deliberately make it look like CG. And the result was a god-awful, stupid, and disrespectful film to everyone. Needless to say, Amalgamated Dynamics was less than happy with this decision, and didn't like how that movie just inadvertently stained their reputation as an effects team. So, in an effort to try and restore their reputation and hopefully bring practical effects back into Hollywood, they started a Kickstarter campaign to make their own monster movie. This movie would feature all practical effects only. Not one scene would have any kind of CGI whatsoever. The result is Harbinger Down, an all-practical effects monster movie starring Lance Henriksen and featuring some really amazing visual effects. The movie and the special effects look absolutely amazing! But unfortunately, it's not as much fun to listen to. What I mean by that is, while the visual effects in this film are absolutely wonderful, and I hope it does make a lot of money so it can convince Hollywood to go back to practical effects and use CG more sparingly, I just wish that the guys who made it either had more experience or had hired someone else to handle the other aspects of the movie. Now, let me be clear. This is not an awful movie. It is a spectacular movie that deserves your attention and your money and serves as a testament to how passionate someone can be for their craft. It is a genuinely valiant effort to bring practical effects back to Hollywood, and I applaud Amalgamated Dynamics for their efforts. Having said that, the film is not 100% perfect. Despite having incredibly well done practical effects all throughout the film, it sadly suffers from lack of quality in the other departments, namely the writing, the directing, and the acting, and the cinematography. The film was written and directed by Alec Gillis, who was actually the co-founder of Amalgamated Dynamics. And while he is truly a spectacular visual effects artist, he's not really a storyteller. The script can best be described as a fanboy's recreation of John Carpenter's The Thing, with a lot of callbacks and references to said movie, as well as a few other classical monster movies from the 80s. And most of the cast in this movie are kind of vacant. Now, the good news is, because the practical effects in this movie are so awesome and amazing to watch, all those other little nitpicks are very easily forgivable. It's really the first time that these guys have tried doing this part of movie making, and I guess doing everything themselves was just part of the big middle finger that they clearly wanted to give to Universal. Which, frankly, I think is totally justified. Also, very fortunately, it's not all bad, as the majority of screen time is spent with Lance Henriksen, who is still an awesome actor and still manages to make a great performance out of stuff that would be considered lackluster. Currently, this film is only screening in theaters around Los Angeles, but it is available for rent on iTunes, Amazon, and Xfinity. So if you have any of those rental services, I implore you, please rent this movie, or maybe even buy this movie, because giving it your money will tell Hollywood that it is time for practical effects once again. Even if you don't watch the movie, just please give this movie at least some of your money. It may not be the most well-written, directed, or acted, or shot film you've seen, but the visual effects are more than worth it. Now, on the off chance that someone from Amalgamated Dynamics is watching this, all I have to say is, thank you all for making this wonderful movie, and thank you all for putting in all your passion and effort into something that showcases the true value of practical effects, and I genuinely hope that we see more of your practical effects in future movies. And if anyone from Universal happens to be watching this right now, all I have to say to you guys is, you done f***ed up. You know that, right? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Norman. Thank you for watching.